For the most part, I think a lot of us did well in different sections. Some of us had the same issues in certain sections. For number 1 in the first objective, this should have been 4 times, then in parentheses, n squared plus 1. A lot of you put the square on the outside. Be careful, read the wording. So if this says 4 times the sum of, remember your parentheses phrases, the sum of tells us these next things are going to be adding together, but I'm multiplying 4 to all of that. Then these are the 2 things we're adding, the square of n and 1. Be careful because this does not say square root. If it was, or if it did say that, then you would use square root. Some of you also switch these. Addition is commutative, so that order would not matter, but for this, try to write it in the order it says. Questions on that one? I don't think I had many in this class, but you should have had parentheses. No, I think some in 4th did not. There were a bunch of different ways you could have written number 2. I'm going to write the most common I saw. Make sure you are writing out, this is a negative. You could write out 1/2 or just write the number 1/2. You need to tell me what the negative 1/2 is doing to everything, which is multiplying, so some multiplication word. And then we need to say that this is multiplying to everything, so you can say all times, times the difference of. There were others, I don't really remember all of them. And then once you have that difference of, the minus is taken care of, so you don't have to do that again. But we do need to say what's going on with 3 and n. Some of you just put of 3n, and we need to say exactly what's happening. So we can say of the product of, or of 3 times n, and 2. The and tells us the 2 things we're subtracting, so we don't need to put another minus in there because it's already taken care of. Questions about that one? So the 3 points for the first one were making sure you had 4 times the parentheses, the square, and the addition. The 4 points for this one were having the negative, multiplying to everything, the difference, and x. So if you had those, then you were good. For objective 2, I saw a lot of you do this. You combine these 2 to get negative 7p cubed. You left these 2, and then you put plus 3n at the end, which is why most of you only got 2 points on that one. But if we're looking at this, MP and PM, if I'm thinking about those as numbers, if I put in 3 and 4, and then 4 and 3, if I multiplied those, wouldn't that give me the same thing? Right. So this is the same thing, they're just backwards. So these should have also been combined. Whether you put PM or NP does not matter here. So that was your final answer for that one. Do we have any questions about that one? So be thinking commutative property. Does the order matter? The order doesn't matter. Combine them. The order does matter, then don't combine them. This didn't happen in this class as much, but these aren't all like terms. They don't all have the same thing. These and your M are not like terms because some have exponents, some don't. Just be careful with that. And I know I mentioned this last class, but again, with your exponents, you're not doing anything with them. So those should stay exactly the same. You're only touching the coefficients. I think almost everyone got this one right. So multiply this out to get 2x plus 4 This was negative 18x plus 30. Combine your like terms. Be careful, some of you got 16 and not negative 16, and it should have been a negative. And then if you didn't get a positive here because of these two, it threw everything else off, so be careful with your signs. But negative 16x plus 34 was your final answer for that one. Anyone have questions on that? For the most part, you guys got this right. There was just like missing pieces. Some of you may have also recognized that these were the same two practice problems that I had asked you guys to do, that 13 and 14 that we went over in class, so it may have been fresh in your mind as well. So remember to show me every single step that you put in the numbers. Show me that you're multiplying either using the dot or parentheses. Okay, so that you showing that was 1 point that you evaluated correctly. And then simplifying this part was 1. Because this will give you 10 and 6, 10 minus 6, and 18 and 9. So this was worth 1 point, this was worth 1 point. Simplifying both of those again, and the next part. These both combined were worth 1 point. Seeing that you simplified them, as well as I don't have anything else to do in the absolute value, so I can take them off and add them. We shouldn't be adding them if they're still in absolute value because they're technically still in different grouping. And then, of course, getting the correct answer was worth 1 point. So that's how we got 5. I don't think I explained points on the second, so I'll go back in a second. Questions on that one? I did not say this before, but we'll do this for next quiz. When I go over this, make sure you're fixing your own quiz, whether on the back, next to it, whatever. It's kind of late now, so that was my bad. But just so you know for next time. And then hold on to this quiz. For 6, same thing. You have to put all of your values in. So 4 times 9 plus 3 times 9, over 27 plus a negative 24 plus the cube root of 9 times negative 24. So me seeing that you put all your values in correctly was worth 1 point. If you just re-put the variables, that did not count because I didn't actually see you put in everything. And then simplifying each piece was worth 1 point. So getting 36 here, getting 27 here, getting 3 here, getting negative 216, that was 4 points. And then simplifying each piece, that entire thing was worth 1 point, and then getting the correct answer was worth 1 point to equal 7. Questions on that one? So far, do we feel like we understand where we went wrong? Have any questions about anything that was wrong?
or you're not understanding anything from the quiz? Hila.
Negative 11, because you're doing positive 8 minus 19. So MP or PM, either or. Points for this one, combining your P cubes correctly, combining your MPs correctly, and your 3Ms. That was worth 3 points. The 4 points here was distributing correctly for the first set, distributing correctly for the second set, and then simplifying your X's correctly and simplifying your constants.
So those same sort of point values are going to follow for the test. So be keeping that in mind. Do we have any other quiz questions before I ask for review questions? Okay. Do we have any review questions, last minute review questions we want to ask, go over, anything like that? Jasmine. Say that one more time.
I have something on my quiz that I want to ask you.
Okay.
What does it say?
Sorry, my handwriting is not correct sometimes. What you did with this? So that step where you simplify, or show me what that simplification was. I do grade really fast, or not.
I write really fast when I grade, so if you can't read anything, just let me know. Any other quiz or review questions? There was not modeling on the quiz, but there will be at least one on the test. Look at the key. Remember that negatives are shaded in. Any other questions?
Hila, did you have one, or are you okay? Okay. Alright. If we have no other questions,
Then I want you to clear off your desks, except for your calculator and your pencil.